Hi, it's Stinger Splash here with my next video looking at these pay-per-view box sets. This is going to be 2006 and 2007. I'm actually probably going to put this up at the same time as my previous video because I didn't get around to doing it yesterday. This is 2006. Again, they added more events through the year, and the first one was Return of Elimination Chamber for New Year's Revolution, and this had Cena, Angle, Michaels, Masters, Carlito and Kane on the show, Big Show with Triple H. But also it was memorable because Edge cashed in his Money in the Bank shot and won the title at that show. And then Royal Rumble was 3 weeks later, and they decided to put the belt back on Cena, which was a bit of a mistake in my view. They had a 30-man Rumble match, which wasn't even the main event. It was in the middle of the show, which Mysterio won, and they ended with Kurt Angle versus Mark Henry, his only ever pay-per-view main event, I think. Actually, I think they might have had one with Undertaker later on in the year, but very bizarre that they ended with two world title matches. Then we had No Way Out, which had a fantastic main event, as you can see on the cover there. Angle versus Undertaker. That was a brilliant match. They also did Benoit v Booker T, Rey Mysterio v Randy Orton, and Matt Hardy and Tatanka wrestled Eminem. And yeah, very strange. Then we had WrestleMania 22, which is a pretty good WrestleMania. It had Mick Foley and Edge's hardcore match. It had Undertaker wrestling Mark Henry in the casket match for an easy Undertaker Mania win for a change. Rey Mysterio won the world title. John Cena v Triple H. Shawn Michaels v Mr. McMahon. And a pretty good Money in the Bank ladder match as well. Then we had Backlash, which had a triple threat world title match: Cena, Triple H and Edge. Shawn Michaels teaming with God against the McMahons, and a really good ladder match as well: Rob Van Dam and Shelton Benjamin for the Money in the Bank and the Intercontinental title. There was Judgment Day, which had Mysterio and JBL, and for the world title Undertaker v Carly, and also had Chris Benoit v Finlay, which was a really strong undercard match. Then there was ECW One Night Stand, where Rob Van Dam won the title from John Cena with Edge interfering. Rey Mysterio v Sabu, Dreamer and Funk and Bueller against Mick Foley, Edge and Lita, Kurt Angle against Randy Orton. And this also comes a bonus disc, which is the Barely Legal pay-per-view. First ever ECW pay-per-view in 1997. And there was Vengeance with the return of DX, as they wrestled the Spirit Squad in a handicap match, squashed them. Rob Van Dam wrestled Edge. John Cena wrestled Sabu, which was a rare match. Ric Flair wrestled Mick Foley, but it wasn't a very good match. Then we've got the Great American Bash, which is a SmackDown event. Rey Mysterio and King Booker. King Booker, I think, won the world title there. Undertaker and Big Show in a Punjabi prison, because it was meant to be Undertaker Carly, but Carly wasn't allowed to wrestle. Finlay Regal, that was changed from the original match. I think that was meant to be a three-way, but Bobby Lashley wasn't allowed to wrestle. Gregory Helms, Matt Hardy was originally Gregory Helms, and I think Jimmy Wang Yang, but Wang Yang wasn't allowed to wrestle either. It was all due to elevated enzymes and stuff like that. Very strange. Yeah, three. Actually, sorry, it wasn't Yang. I think it was Super Crazy. Yeah, Super Crazy. That's right. Yeah, it was Bobby Lashley, Great Khali, and Super Crazy all weren't allowed to wrestle on that show. Then we have SummerSlam with all the main events on the front there. DX versus the McMahons, Edge and Cena, Triple H and Booker. We also had Hogan and Randy Orton, Big Show, Sabu, Flair, Foley, Mysterio against Guerrero. So whole lot there for the pay-per-view 7 matches. It's a very strong show. Unforgiven, 2007, which had Edge and Cena again. A really good TLC match actually on that show. They had Lita and Trish, which I think was Trish's retirement match, and DX against the McMahons and Big Show in a Hell in a Cell. There's No Mercy, 4-way for the world title: Booker, Finlay, Lashley and Batista, although the original plan was just to do Lashley and Booker single, and Finlay Batista single, and then they decided to make them into a four-way. This also had Undertaker and Mr. Kennedy, and Mysterio Guerrero in a false caliber match. Also had the debut of MVP on that show. And we had Cyber Sunday, where all three champions, Big Show, Booker T and Cena, wrestled each other. It was DX against Rated RKO, Umaga versus Kane, Mickey James versus Lita. And we had Survivor Series. This is where I've started getting UK ones, because I think they were on special at the time. So I got a few UK releases at the end of the year. A couple of Survivor Series traditional matches, I think it was 3. Lita's retirement match against Mickey James. Undertaker, Mr. Kennedy First Blood match. And Batista winning the world title. Then we had one of the worst pay-per-views ever. Elimination Chamber. The 6-man chamber match where they replaced Sabu, put in Hardcore Holly. It was Punk, Test, Big Show, Lashley, Rob Van Dam, and Hardcore Holly in the chamber. And the only other match that was booked in advance was Hardy's and Eminem, and they weren't even ECW guys. But it was a really bad show. I think it actually lasted like 2.5 hours total. It was ridiculously short, and then Heyman got sacked. He was to blame, even though he wasn't really to blame. They blamed him. Armageddon 2006 with Kane against MVP in an Inferno match. Undertaker and Mr. Kennedy again. Last Pride match there. And the tag team main event was Cena and Batista, the 2 world champions, against Booker and Finlay, but it was a real throwaway tag match. I think it was about 10 minutes. It was really a Raw style main event. The only good thing about that show was the 4-way ladder match for the tag titles. And Joey Mercury busted his nose open. It was a strong match. That's 2006 and 2007. We have a few more Region 2s at the start. Started off with New Year's Revolution. New Year's Revolution even. Which had Cena and Umaga. They got away from doing Elimination Chamber. It's Cena and Umaga. It was a strong match. RKO and DX for the tag titles, and I think that's where Triple H got injured. Jeff Hardy and Johnny Nitro in a cage match. And there's the Rumble, which is the first Steelbook release they ever brought out, which they've now ended doing. Cena and Umaga again. Bobby Lashley Test, which is terrible, and Test left after that. Batista versus Kennedy. I think it was Hardy's Eminem, and the Rumble match, which I think was won by Undertaker. Then we had a really good tag team event in No Way Out, which was the team Batista and Undertaker against John Cena and Shawn Michaels. And of course they were the guys that would be wrestling each other at WrestleMania in the 2 main events. We also did Bobby Lashley and Mr. Kennedy for the ECW title, but Kennedy could never get a title at that point for whatever reason. And they also did a really good 6-man tag. The Hardys and Benoit teamed up against MVP. Caden Murdoch, I think it was. Or was it Eminem? Which is a good match, but it was like a bonus match. It was just thrown together, which is a shame with the guys involved. WrestleMania, the hair versus hair thing. 2 really strong main events. And Undertaker won the title. And a really good Money in the Bank ladder match as well. Like Punk won, I think it was. Might have been Anderson, actually. Was it? Yeah. I keep saying Anderson, but it's Mr. Kennedy, but you know who I mean. And there's Backlash. This is an interesting show because every match was a title match. And they had Cena, Michaels, Edge and Orton 4-way. They had Benoit and MVP, Undertaker, Batista, and they also had McMahon's and Umaga against Bobby Lashley in a handicap match, and that's where Mr. McMahon won the ECW title. And there was Judgment Day with the rematch, still 3-on-1 handicap match. Had Michaels versus Orton, Edge and Batista again, Cena against Carly, and One Night Stand. It was a pretty decent show. Had McMahon and Lashley, Cena and Carly, Edge and Batista, Rob Van Dam, Randy Orton. Vengeance Night of Champions, first Night of the Champions event, where they ruined the winners because they put them all on the cover. This is when Johnny Nitro won the ECW title. Now he's John Morrison, but of course that was originally meant to be Benoit and Punk, but Benoit killed himself and murdered his family over that weekend. It was a 5-way match as well, which is a bit odd. Edge and Batista again. They wrestled so many times that year, it was ridiculous. Great American Bash, Cena, Lashley, which is a really good main event, and this was Lashley's last match, I think, for WWE. They also had Texas Bull Rope match, Randy Orton at Dusty Rhodes, and a really good, strong Intercontinental title match, Umaga Jeff Hardy, and a US title match, MVP Matt Hardy. At that point, the Hardys were really good, whatever happened. SummerSlam 2007, Steelbook, the return of Triple H. He wrestled King Booker, squashed him. He had the return of return of Mysterio against Chavo. Mysterio squashed him. Cena and Orton on that show as well. We have Unforgiven, which had the main event of Undertaker and Mark Henry, bizarrely. That was in the last match of the show anyway. We also had Cena and Orton, Carly, Batista and Mysterio, Triple H and Carlito. Triple H is sort of mid-card at that point. And we had No Mercy, which they changed things. They ended up having Orton and Triple H twice, and Triple H also wrestled Umaga, so there was 3 Triple H matches on one show because Cena got injured, so they had to replace the Cena Randy Orton match, but they'd already announced Triple H Umaga, so basically they still had that match as well, and then there was the rematch at the end of the night, and Randy Orton won the belt, so Triple H was champion for like 2 hours. Cyber Sunday, which used to be Taboo Tuesday, they changed it to Sunday. Michaels again getting voted into the title match, he always did, against Orton. It was Punk against The Miz, Undertaker and Batista with special referee Austin. Survivor Series 2007, which again ruined the return of Edge. In the Hell in a Cell main event between Batista and Undertaker, we had Randy Orton against Shawn Michaels. There was a couple of elimination matches I think on there as well, and also Punk, Morrison and Miz, which is a really good 3-way opener. And the last one here, this video, is Armageddon 2007. It's a pretty cool cover. Which had Orton and Jericho, return of Jericho at that point, Batista, Edge and Undertaker, Triple H against Jeff Hardy, Shawn Michaels against Mr. Kennedy. It's a pretty good show. They always have a good show at the end of the year. Armageddon's, it never looks that good on paper, but it's usually one of the better shows of the year for some reason. So that's 2007. The next video I'll look at 2008 and 2009, which are there. So I'll do that a bit later on. Okay, thanks again for watching. Goodbye.